Hey everyone! How y'all doing? Hi! The piano soothes your soul wonderfully. It soothes mine as well. It's a wonderful piece, isn't it? But hi everyone! My goodness. Hello, hi! Hi! Hi y'all. Y'all can hear me okay? At least I'm hoping so. I've been screwing around with my microphone to make sure I'm heard properly through the storyteller's voice. But hello. Hello all. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love my swimsuit so much. I feel so pretty. I feel so pretty in the swimsuit. Just take a look. Oh, I feel so pretty. Guys, do you understand? Do you guys understand just how pretty I feel right now? I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty. I feel pretty and witty and bright, and I pity any girl who is me tonight. Oh my god. But hi y'all. I'm just so happy with this. Just like, ah! Anyways, moving along to more important matters, of course. Because today is not just a day where we can just screw around, you know. The model's full body, it's so good. I do plan to make a reference video down the line, so that way people have reference of like either for like fan works or just want to see the full outfit and all that stuff and the full rigging that I did, because I did all the rigging for it. So I was just like, yeah. New stream didn't know. It's all good. It's all Gucci. I love this set, right? The skirt is so pretty, and like, look, it even has like little beads and a chain. It's so cute. Like, it's just so lovely. But anyways, yeah, I'm living my beach episode life. This beach episode is gonna last 2 months. Just so you all know, this beach episode is 100% lasting 2 months. Back model went. That's never happening. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't even know how that would work. Like, why would people just want to see my back? Stop making me want to die. MKU, focus on your work. I'm always here. You know that. You know I'm always going to be here. In the back of your mind. It's the beach season. Exactly. It's summer. It makes sense. We're in June, going into July. 2 months. 2 months of living on the beach. Okay? I think that sounds fair, right? I think that sounds absolutely fair. Knock on wood, I get enough money for a winter outfit. Birthday's the next 5 days. Happy almost birthday, sweetheart. I got your resub message. Thank you so much for your support. But yeah, okay. As much as I want to sit here and absolutely shoot the shit with you all, we have some brass tacks to deal with. Because today is not just a regular Monday, we all know it is a Game Dev Monday. However, you could say the storyteller is a little bit of a busy lady. At least my creator is. So unfortunately, I won't be able to say very, very long. Can I give you another flower for the cause? Aw, please! I would love it. I would absolutely love. I love flowers. I myself don't necessarily getting bouquets and all that stuff. Like, single flowers are always like my favorite. But anyways, focus. I know you said green light all the fan work before story. Do you prefer lighter themes or dark themes? Any and all. Any and all. I promise you, any and all. It's fully depending on my mood what I read, but I do read the gambit. I'll be quite honest here. Like, I've read Playground. I've read a little bit of Playground. I've read Haunting Adelaide. Haunting Adelaide. Why would you eat the flower on my head? Okay, why would you eat the flower on my head? Watch and see why we play Stardew Valley. Absolutely, because okay, back to brass tacks. We need to talk about this game. So for those of you who don't know, this is a Game Dev Monday. Game Dev Monday is when we talk about my game. What's my game? Is called Home on the Strange, aka HOTS. And where we talk about working on this game. If you don't know what that is, exclamation mark HOTS in the chat. Both YouTube and Twitch have the command for that. Because I forgot the word. Sorry, my brain's been like in 10 million miles an hour. So both chats will have it. And so basically, if you don't know what the hell is happening, I'm making a game. Yes, I am a game developer. I made Seduce Me the Atome. I've made a bunch of other games, Valentine Panic. I'm currently in development of a VTuber VN, which I'm not going to discuss anymore. But I'm back in the game, guys. I'm back in, and I'm going full swinging. It's not a visual novel that I'm making next time. I'm doing a full-on casual / defense game. What is imposter syndrome? It's the feeling that you don't belong despite the skill set you have. So essentially, imposter syndrome would be more so of like, oh, I did X, Y, and Z, but other people have done A, B, C to Z. And I feel like the praise that I'm given or the praise that people give to me is not valid. It's basically you feel like an imposter. You feel like you kind of either got lucky or you feel like you're an imposter in your own skin, in your own place, etc., etc. But yeah. So yeah, like I made Seduce Me, I made Valentine Panic, I made a bunch of other games on the platform for itch.io and Steam, and now Seduce Me is on all platforms such as PlayStation, Switch, Xbox. So my field in the game development work, absolutely valid. But I've had imposter syndrome for a long while due to a game that I worked on that was very similar to another very popular game. So I quit for a long while, but now I'm back in. I'm back in, and we're doing a casual farming / defense game called Home on the Strange. Yeah, so I've been working on this game in private ever since the beginning of Seduce Me's progress. So yeah, it was kind of around the same time. But now I'm finally getting full head and deep into the story. And I'm actually curious, who here actually doesn't know that I've been working on this game? Who here did not know? Like, this is your first Game Dev Monday with me. It's completely fine, 100% if it is. And if it is, great. Nice. Yes, MKU, 100%. I believe you. But yeah, so it's gonna be good. But I'll go ahead and elucidate. First stream in general is all good. Lunar, okay, absolutely. I make games? I know I make games. It's so weird. It's so weird. It's like I've been making games since 2014. Oh, if you guys open the tavern, it's all good. But yeah, so allow me to elucidate kind of what the story is all about. Seduce Me Under the Milky Twilight, Lamau. No, Seduce Me the Atome is my series, or Seduce Me the Complete Story, as you would find on Steam and itch.io and PlayStation and Nintendo and Xbox. But Home on the Strange, essentially it takes a villain story and spins it on its head. I personally, hello! It takes a villain story and spins it on its head, where you are playing the villain after a major event that would happen in a video game. So if there was a way for me to figure this out, should I just show the characters and explain on the way, or should I just like talk through this? I have it pulled up. I could just pull up the pictures because what we've been doing the last month and a half, like the last 2 months, is drawing the characters and drawing the environment that we would need, just to kind of get our hands like understood of what design needs to be done, what the characters look like, what the environment will look like, etc., etc. Art style is still to be determined, but of course, like this is more for the progress of the development of the game. So you know what? Let's go ahead and bring you all to the booth real quick. Let's bring you all to my little storyboard real quick, and I'll show you what I mean. All right. So hi everyone. Put my drink down real quick. So let's see here. This is the character roster of Home on the Strange. So like I said, if you want to know more details about Home on the Strange, there is a website now for Home on the Strange. !HOTS for the link. But we have a character roster, and I'll explain as we go along. So you play as this magnificent being called the player, because obviously I want to try, and I would love to be able to try to do character customization for a name. Obviously, I don't know whether or not character customization for a look will be possible. A character roster done or incomplete? Done. We are done. So you play as a Lich Necromancer. And basically, you started off being bullied by your 4 siblings because instead of like following the holy order and reading the religious texts of the world, you decided that you bended more easily to the dark arts, and you basically found an affinity to the weave. We're calling it the weave, which essentially is the thread of life. The thread of life is what controls everything. The thread of life is what keeps life going and forwards and backwards. And you found an affinity to it, and it is considered the dark arts in the land. So you found out about it, you fell in love with it, you left home because of the bullying that you received, and now you've traded and at this point you've traded your soul and your mortal body in order to have the ability to completely bend the weave to your needs. And you became the BBEG, the big bad boss, the final boss of the game, of like the story that you previously were part of. But of course, a group of adventurers that was led along with one of your siblings came and tried to defeat you. You said, "Fuck that, I'm not dying here, I'm just going to pretend that I died and go home." So the game starts with you going home to your little homestead family where your parents were hopefully going to be waiting for you. Um, you still have somewhat of a semblance of your dark magic, but the goal of this game is not to be found out. If you started just blasting your magic everywhere, people would realize that the great dark one is not dead. So yeah, you are now in hiding. But of course, you go to your homestead and you try and find your parents. Unfortunately, they have been executed for actually supporting you in your endeavors rather than shunning you for practicing the dark arts. So you need to understand your new life and also to have your parents back. Why are they uwu? Because I made them uwu. So essentially, you resurrect their skulls, and they kind of lend a helping hand with their heads, so to speak. Model speak. Thank you so much. So yeah, you have your parents hopping around with you, teaching you about farming. But of course, if you could all pay attention to the details of the Lich, you are a skeleton. You have no muscles. You cannot farm properly, unfortunately. So, because MK asked for Uwu. But you're a Lich. You're a necromancer. You don't have to farm yourself. You have the undead, which will farm for you. Yeah, we're bringing in zombies now. So yeah, there's basically going to be zombies and other minions that you can summon that will basically run the farm automatically. So basically, you just have to tell them to do the thing. They will do the thing without question. They seem cool. Hello, hi. How bones stay together with no muscle? Magic. But anyways, so that's that. We have your parents who are just hopping around. But of course, you can't live a peaceful life now, can you? Your siblings are still alive. So, of course, the Holy Order, which is the big religious order that controls the land, is pretty much an annoying threat. They are manifest destinying all around and claiming land that isn't theirs. They're wrecking homesteads. They're breaking up native clans. And they're just basically trying to civilize the world with goodness and light. And of course, your 4 siblings are involved. So of course, we have your youngest shithead sister, Kira the Kind, who is the poster child of the Holy Order, who is I am the good of the world, I am the nicest and the prettiest and the youngest, and you should join the Holy Order because the Holy Order is full of light and love and blah, 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 blah. When in reality, she's absolutely someone who will laugh at you and stomp on your nuts because she can. Kira the Kind is very much a extreme cliche of a white mage who is visually and aesthetically very pure, but mentally she is pretty demented. She is very much like, no, like I want things and I will have them because I am good, I am kind, I do what I want, and so I deserve it or have earned it. We born dead, you died. You died. And Why do siblings have skin? You're dead. Yeah, Darla Dimple from Cats Don't Dance, or even 4 from Drakengard 3. So she should like squirrels. Lamau. But yeah, she is very much the prim and proper. I do what I want because I'm too cute to be judged sort of scenario. Think of that pink hair little sister from Redo. Oh, Jesus Christ! I have yet to actually watch that show. Don't remind me. I've read the manga, but nah, don't remind me. She's an entitled little brat, and she is the first of 4 bosses who will come and try and take over the farm, not realizing you are still alive. Night, we're going through the characters. Oh, good. We'll get romance. We're going through the characters. Take it slow. Then we have Charles the Chivalrous. This is your hot-headed younger brother who absolutely views glory and views honor as a way to get bitches and get fame. So while he does work hard and it shows in the prowess of his strength and his swordsmanship, he is absolutely a douchebag. He is the hot-headed, I'm gonna be king of the pirates, but in the worst way possible sort of chivalrous. And of course, he wants to prove himself to his older sister, who is a very important character. But down the rabbit hole we go for that one. But yeah, that's Charles the Chivalrous. And as you can see, your younger siblings, spoiled little shithead brats. So yeah, I want the skeleton to smash Lamau. Then we have someone who might divide some of the community, from what I hear. Philemon the Pious. Douchey hypocrite. Do the right thing for the wrong reasons, exactly. I mean, you want them to bone? We have Philemon the Pious, who is your older brother and is actually the epitome of goodliness to an extent. He didn't necessarily bully you when you were together as kids, but he never defended. So basically, he was the outlier witness of it, the silent witness to the bullying. But in reality, when it came to the Holy Order, he actually went out to try and do good in the world, heal the sick, help the needy, fight up against oppression, and all that stuff. Philemon was one of those who stood up and did what he could to actually show that the word of the Holy Order meant something. He is very powerful, very strong, and because he's away from the church for very long, he has more worldly experience than his younger siblings. Night, we're gonna get there. We're going through characters first. We're gonna get there. If you didn't remember what I said at the beginning, we like the dark arts, and so we decided to bend to the dark arts and say fuck the holy church, and we tried to fight back, but we lost. I got questions. But you should then open up and listen. You got this. I believe in you. But that's Philemon the Pious. And it'll be up to you whether or not you judge him for his inactivity of his siblings' evil actions towards you and his siblings' horrendous actions as adults. Now, finally, we have what I would consider the BBEG of Home on the Strange, Gemma the Godly. Gemma the Godly is the High Paladin Priest of the Holy Order. She is the one who will absolutely step in and fight the evil of the world in order to show that the light of the Holy Order is good and absolutely worthy for forgiveness and following. She's more pious than her brother, to the point where she is absolutely obsessed and is almost zealous in her course of understanding that light is good. So the thing is, she was also part of the party that tried to kill you when you were a BBEG. So, yeah. This is going to be a very interesting conversation you'll have with her because she thinks full on you're dead. And she doesn't necessarily put 2 and 2 together that you are indeed her sibling. Until the very end, of course. Depends on what happens. So, there you go. You have your 4 little shithead siblings who are always going, like, every season, one of them is going to try and take over your farm. That's literally the extent. They're going to try and take over your farm. And once you down them, it'll be up to you to either kill them and submit them to the weave, or make them as part of your undead army. So, it'll be up to you. And that's another little fun thing that I like to see how players handle such a situation. I got a joke. I'm not dead. I'm living challenged. Oh my god, FKU, how dare. All right. But of course, because this is a farming sim, a casual sim, and because I can't necessarily deny the dating sim person inside of my heart, this is also a dating sim. You can date some of these characters. So, here are your romance options. We have the witch. She is a traveling witch who lives within the hamlet nearby. And she basically sells spell components to adventurers who are off doing their jobs, killing slimes and goblins and whatever. And she essentially she knows she has a beautiful body. She knows she has the charisma to sell what she needs. But of course, she's one of those girls that's just, I want more. I want to be able to go out and see the world, explore everything, understand like more than just what I'm able to do. Um, and she's a beautiful soul in that regard. Um, and so yeah, that's the witch, and she does have a little bit of a traveling companion. It's a traveling chest. It's not a mimic. It is not a mimic. Think the color of magic. Yeah, think the companion in the color of magic. So yeah, we have that. And so she's very charming, charismatic, what you expect a sexy witch to be, but she's much more than the beauty that she adorns herself with. Um, so yeah, that's the witch. And then we have the werewolf. Now, I should mention that this farm that you live in is by a hamlet. The hamlet is run by a werewolf who is helping a bunch of refugees hide away from the Holy Order. And the werewolf is a large gentleman, very, very sweet man who's trying to control the werewolf within himself. Are your friends going to voice act in this game? I haven't decided yet. I haven't decided if there's going to be full voice acting, minor, like partial voice acting. I haven't decided yet. And I haven't even determined who I'm going to ask to audition. Because I will be having people audition in. I'm not just going to be like, hey, voice this. Like, no, audition in. I want to see who's the best for each role. I'm not going to be like, I just want to cast my friends. No, that's not fair. That's really not fair. I may have some voices in mind, but I can ask them, hey, would you like to audition? Versus casting them outright. There's only 2 characters who I'm going to cast outright, simply because I am one of the voice actors, and my husband is the other voice actor. So yeah. But the werewolf here, he's a gentleman with a monster buried deep inside. And he's trying to be nice, he's trying to be polite, but of course, you can't help the beast within. Is there reactions to bending your siblings to your will or weaving them? Down the line, yeah. It'd be more, so they'll have conversations about that, but otherwise. Brian's a VA. He's been a VA. Brian's voiced and stuff. Yeah, he's been a VA. Then we have the shapeshifter, representing pronouns they, them. The shapeshifter is able to bend their body to however they need to be able to sell mundane goods to humans, such as like crops and little trinkets that the blacksmith builds, little things from the little hamlets that could be sold, etc., etc. And the shapeshifter kind of lives in between being normal, that's accepted by the Holy Order, and being abnormal, being that they themselves don't necessarily know who they are. So the shapeshifter is kind of balancing who they are and where they belong at the same time. So we have the shapeshifter. 4th romance option, the vampire. Yeah, that's right. We have a mommy vampire right here. She is the captain of the guard. She is the one who protects the hamlets first and foremost because she finds the hamlet to be her territory. She is very territorial, but she's very quiet. She is very soft. She's very cold-spoken, soft-spoken. Who's Michaela? It's not Night. It's not her. I'm not voicing the vampire. I'm not voicing the vampire. Just so you, I'm not voicing. As much as I would love to, I'm not. But she is very small-spoken, speaks only as needed, and is still trying to go over the fact that she was betrayed by her nobility and had to run away from her nobility. And so, yeah. Never mind, vampire. Awooga! How do we know that this is what the shapeshifter looks like if it can change its appearance? Because that's their normal appearance. They choose that appearance as their normal appearance. Alright. So, our last romance is the demon. He is the blacksmith of the hamlet. He's the one who works on the forge every day, all day. He's been living in the hamlet for the longest because that was originally his home away from the demon world. And he just chills and vibes. He just loves to create shit. So he's the one you will go to for all of your upgrades for your zombies, your traps, your extra machines, etc., etc. So that way you can continue to forge forward um in your building of your farm, as it would. Um he is a very sweet guy, just very just chill and vibey. But yeah, those are your romantic interests. You have plenty to choose from, and yes, there will be options for polyamory. They all understand and love each other just as much as they love you, and if you bring them into the romantic fold, they will communicate and understand each other's position as well. So yeah, there you can pick and choose if you want all the guys, all the girls, all the theys, all of them, none of them. It's all good. One of them, who cares? It's all up to you. They will not fight, they will not get jealous, they will not go him haw, nothing like that. If you say no to them, they will understand because they are fucking mature adults who understand that emotions are weird. So yeah, there you go. There's your 5 romance options. Now we get to the rest of the NPCs, because of course a hamlet's not a hamlet without some citizens. So yeah, how do we romance without muscles? You try very, very hard to not be so bony. Anyways, so now we have the NPCs, because obviously we need a hamlet, we need a bunch of citizens, we need a bunch of people that live in this little hamlet that's away from the Holy Order. So first we have the Mole Man. The Mole Man actually lives in the mountains nearby the hamlet. And he's the one who digs for the minerals, for the iron, the stone, any sort of works that are engraved in the mountain for the blacksmith. And he just lives there. He does not necessarily live in the hamlet, he just lives in the mountain. But sometimes he'll come around and ask to borrow some of your zombies to help give him protection, but also to carry some larger loads of materials for the hamlet, as it were. He's only ever necessarily lived in the mountain all of his life. So when he learns about you being like this big figure in the world, he asks a lot of questions. And so he's a very interesting character. Scrolling. And then we have the Dryad. The Dryad, who is almost the opposite. The Dryad lives in the forests that protect the hamlets. Basically, there's a large forest area that protects the hamlet and a little bit of the farmland. And they've been witness and trying to fight back against the Holy Order, essentially digging through and burning their trees and trying to manifest destiny into their territory. And the Dryad's still trying to just understand what's going on and to understand why the Holy Order is doing such things. And the Dryad, they figure that you could have the answers that they need. So their relationship with you is more of just a lot more inquisitive as to like understanding why humans are trying to destroy the world around them. So this is the Druid and just now Dryad. Yeah, going a Dryad. We're going Dryad. So yeah, it very much connected to the woods, very like almost Eldritch-like. I want them to be a little more Eldritch-like as they are being warped by the humans that are essentially invading their territory. But I don't want them to be scary. I want them to be just more like fantastical, if that makes any sort of sense. Then we have armor, which somehow everyone wants to clang, clang, clang as a romance option. So allow me to elucidate. This is a sentient piece of armor whose undead spirit inside basically has no identity. They no longer have an identity. They just live as a piece of armor. And the sorcerer that summoned them was executed. But somehow they survived. So now they help out in the hamlet as part of the security, as part of the guard. And they are unsure of essentially who they are and what their purpose is now that they don't have a master to follow. They don't necessarily have a name. So their entire arc is centered around what they can do as a living, sentient sort of being. So yeah. And if the game somehow blows up against popularity, they're becoming a romance interest. It's great. It's fine. It's fantastic. It's all good. Then we have the Nyakin family, aka the cat family. So this cat family was one of the families that managed to escape a large exodus of a monster town, where the Nyakin father, a tuxedo cat man, sacrificed himself so that way his wife and children could escape. So of course we have the mother, who is very much she's in the stage of grieving while still having to take care of 3 children in memory of who she lost. So she lives in the hamlets trying to have a smile, trying to do the best she can, knowing that she could only do the best she can in a situation like this, but not necessarily having the time to properly grieve her mate, not properly grieve the fact that she lost the man she loves. Um, so her story is going to try and be around, like, the guilt of not being able to be more than enough to just move past this and just help her kids. Because she truly was in love, and so it's a large grieving moment for her. But yeah. Uh, a nice avatar, thank you. And then we have the kids. We have the first kid who is around like 12 years old. The first born, he is a male. And he's trying to essentially live up to the expectation of being the man of the house, like trying to take over for helping his siblings, while the mom works in the town square. Trying to essentially step up now that dad's no longer with them. Um, he's still trying to learn his own body, he's still trying to learn his own place. And so a lot of his dialogue will reflect around the fact that he's nervous. Um and he's just going to try his best, but he knows that he's just a kid, and but he wants to try and beat that. He wants to try and just not be a kid anymore. It's just so he can be there to help his mom. We have the second kid, go by they them. They're actually trying to figure out really who they are, because they looked up to both mom and dad. But when dad disappeared, mom became essentially the singular parental figure. And since their older brother is trying to step up and be like the older man of the house, the this little child is still trying to figure out who they are, in the face of it. And so they're quiet, they're to themselves, and they're they're not necessarily going to be like, I'm a they them and I don't necessarily bend one way or another. They're still trying to figure it out. And so they may bend one way or another at the end of it, who knows? It's more of just them realizing that they have the freedom to do so safely with their mom and their older brother and also their younger sister. Um, so yeah. Then we have the last child, the youngest of the 3 Nyakin children. She is a very, very sweet little girl who wants to try and emulate her mother, and she understands that her mom is doing her best, but she doesn't understand why her father is no longer in the picture. She doesn't necessarily have the capacity to understand that her father is dead. So she's trying to see what she can do to emulate her mom so that maybe one day dad will come back and see her as a magnificently grown woman just like her mom and be proud of her. Um so yeah, she's a little bit of an innocent, naive character that you want to pat on the head and be like, "It's okay, sweetheart. It's okay." Um, but yeah, so that's my daughter now. Thanks. My goodness. All right. So, whoop. Where did I go? Where'd you go? I missed you so. What the heck did I just do? Oh, that's right. It's okay now. Okay. Daddy wants to get the milk. Favorite character in this game and why? We haven't gotten to them yet. Um, I'll show you when we get to them. But Goliath. So Goliath is he's just a wanderer, but he settled down in the hamlet to kind of raise his animals. I've decided to make him the animal wrangler of the hamlet. So he's the one where you go to get your animals, like your chickens, your cows, your sheep, your pigs. Um, and he just lives with the land very peacefully, and he finds the hamlet to be a great place to kind of settle down and get in there. Um, and of course, he is a tall 8-foot motherfucker. who lets the children on his shoulders to see past the forest view sometimes. He's a very gentle giant, but he's also part of the security and does have weapons on hand ready in case something goes wrong. Um, so Goliath will also be the one that collects from your shipping bin every night. So he's the one who will be able to do all of that. He's a very, very sweet. And then we have the haunted family. We have the haunted father and the haunted son. So the haunted father, essentially, the haunted father and son, the mother slash wife of the family, also practice dark magic, as she also praised the necromancer. She was the epitome of a cultist, essentially, but they supported her because that was a wife, that was a mother. They didn't necessarily kick her away because of what she believed. But of course, when the necromancer was defeated, there was a large hunt down for anyone who supported the necromancer, and she was found to be one of them. So when she was executed, the father and the son, because of their connection to her, were cast out of the lands of the Holy Order, and thus they find refuge in the hamlet, kind of struggling with the effects of losing the mother slash wife of the family. With the father being torn of how he's going to be able to handle taking care of his son on his own, how he's going to be able to find a way to bring back the power that they had, because of course you don't just lose that power and be like, oh well, it's one of those things that's very hard to give up, especially since he was a duke. Um, and then do any of the people recognize you after you come back? No. And then you have the son who is like trying to understand why the Holy Order would harm someone in such a regard, and try to understand the lawfulness of it and the morality of it, while also trying to discover themselves, not as a royal or as a noble, but as a kid, a man who's growing, a young boy who's growing up to be a man. He is around like 14, 15 years old. And he's at the age where he's kind of like questioning his father and questioning everything. Um, yeah. Then we have the Clocken family, which is the bear family. It's great. So the Clocken family revolves around these three bears. Three bears. And they were already on the move away from the Holy Order, knowing that the Holy Order was going to come and basically burn out their tribe. So the Clocken dad essentially works with security as well, works with the guard to protect the hamlet. Very rugged but wizened and very wise and sweet. He's a big teddy bear after all, but he knows how to wield his weapon properly. Then we have the Clocken mom, who is very much a mama bear. The only person she will protect in this hamlet is her child. And for good reason, because she knows the horrors of losing everything. So she does know how to fight, but she works with the Nyakin mom in the town square, either developing something to sell or helping it build up, and etc. etc. And of course we have the Claw Kid, who is around like 11, 12, who doesn't necessarily understand why they have to move around and why they had to settle into the hamlet and why they should be afraid of humans and the Holy Order. They don't necessarily put two and two together as to why. But they're not one of those little shitheads that would be like, I'm gonna go run off to the Holy Order to see what's going on. No. They understand and have the cognitive reasoning of knowing that they should not try and poke the bear, as it would, of the Holy Order. They just are incessantly questioning it because they see no reason as to why other people would do that. Why other people would basically burn villages in order to increase their own. So, the Claw Kid, you kind of have to either show reality or mold into understanding what's going. And now we have the best characters in the game. At least in my opinion. We have what we consider the Flame Moth family. This is a couple. A really cute destined couple of a Mothman and a fire elemental. So Mothman fell in love with a princess fire elemental and could do literally nothing else. Like, he watched her day and night, watched from afar, praised her in letters, praised her in any way he could through small acts of service, small acts of kindness, gifts, and essentially wooed the hell out of her. But he knew how to keep his distance because obviously she's a flame elemental. She's a flame elemental. But on the day of her coronation, he realizes that it's either now or never to be with her. And he has an inkling that she likes him too. Um, so he literally steps up and begs her to run away with him because he already ran away from his clan because, of course, he was in love with a fire elemental. You stupid Mothman! You shouldn't fall in love with a fire elemental, you dumbass! And so he ran and he goes to get her and have her run away with him, and she says yes. So this fire elemental, however, is a princess. She was going to be the next monarch of her clanhood when she started getting little notes and love letters, and all of a sudden things were getting done for her. And at first it was very strange, but then she started to really love it and fall in love back with it too. And then she realizes who it was, a Mothman out who's like hanging out by her window. And of course she pretends not to notice, but she does because she's not dumb. And when he finally has the courage to be like, run away with me, she immediately says yes and runs. And so they go on the run to the point where they were being chased and he grabbed hold of her hand on instinct and burned himself. That's why you can see one of his hands will eventually have like burn marks of that incident. So they live together, but of course they cannot touch. He loves her from afar, she loves him from afar, and both are very frustrated about it. Mothman has this deep fear of not being enough for her, that he took her away from something special, and now he's trying to figure out ways to prove himself worthy of her now that he has her. And so he works as the werewolf secretary who kind of helps manage and organize the events that happen in the hamlet. Because he has multiple hands, he can lend 4 helping hands. So he kind of helps out with that. But the fire elemental, on the other hand, is a little more passionate, to the point of being, I want to touch him, I don't want to hurt him, but I want to kiss his stupid face. So her entire arc is trying to go into her history and find a certain spell that the Lich can help cast to give her a human form that can touch him. So she's very passionate, she's very fiery, she very much is like, I just want to touch him and kiss him and hold him because I like him, fuck him! And so, yeah. And yes, these are the 2 characters me and Brian will be voicing. So yeah. That's why I'm not voicing the Vampire Knight. I'm voicing this one. But yeah. Why doesn't she infire herself? What? What? Unfire herself? She is literally a being made of fire, MKU. Oh, but she also works in the forge with the blacksmith, heating the forge and making sure the fire is always lit. So yeah. What would her voice for? So some of her down here, very regal, very practiced as a princess, but god fucking damn it, that Mothman better fucking touch me, or I swear to God. It's gonna be around there. So that's the roster, guys. That's the list. This is the cast list of Home on the Strange. The joke is turned on itself. In a way, we can date you and Brian. La Mal. This is the fire version of Diana. Tell me I'm wrong. No, you're wrong. Will the Goliath yell boy at us? No, he will not. But yeah, that is the roster of Home on the Strange. Look at that. I do not know art style wise what we're gonna go with. But in terms of all of this, I do not know who will be voicing the rest of the characters. I do not know if they will have voices. I don't know what will happen. I want to try and at least get partial voice acting at minimum. But my dream would be full voice acting, but that's going to take a long while. But yeah, you need to draw all these people. Please, by all means, use hashtag HOTS. Or you can post it in the Discord, fan art and all whatever you like. I'm not surprised you threw your voice again. Do it, Lamau. All right. Now, of course, we can't necessarily just have a cast of characters into a pit of nothing. We need to have something. So we have a farm. So basically, how the farm will work is this: you will have a large acre of land that stretches vertically. So of course, a lot of the screen will show like here, like all of this stuff. So you'll see more of all of this, but you'll have your main house here, which will be. We've already tried to scale it to where it's proportional to. Where's our lich? Where'd I put my lich? Lich, where are you? There you are. We have a little lich here. So we have a little lich as our little backup. Like, so you have your house right over here that you come out of, and you can kind of walk around. You'll have, pardon me, you'll have your shipping crate over here. You have your watering well, because of course every farm needs a watering well. Lamau. Is it 2D or 3D? It'll be 2D. I don't know if I could mentally handle 3D, but like 2D. So like Stardew Valley and all that stuff, where it's like older games where it's more simpler in that regard. Then of course you have your animal farm, which will have the silos and all this stuff, and this is where you can have access to like your chickens, your pigs, your cows, and all that stuff. Hi, I'm glad you're a Seducer fan. Thank you. Top-down pixel art, yeah, a little bit top-down, like bird's eye view pixel art. And of course, like you can see here, like we have like a chicken, a sheep, a pig, a cow. I am so proud. I am so damn proud that the fact that I was able to like sketch these out, like holy shit, take a look at my fucking cow, look at my fucking pig, look at my fucking sheep, look at my fucking, I was about to say cock, chicken. But dude, take a look at that. But of course, you can't have a farm without farm stuff. So of course we have our produces. We have our basic produces of lettuce, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, carrots, cucumbers, peppers, corn, celery, and eggplants. Because I said yes to eggplants. Oh, that's the cock. Chicken! We have our basic mundane vegetables that you can grow on the farm because the shapeshifter can sell that. You can make money off of it. It's the more basic. It won't have a lot of prying eyes, etc., etc. And then, of course, we have our spell components because this is a magical game. Steamy Ross with the 5 Canadian. Flame Elemental, after turning Q and grabs Mothman. I want Snoo. Now. Yeah, that would be the Fire Elemental, straight up. But yeah, so of course we have spell components because you are a lich who uses magic, and of course the witch would deeply appreciate you being able to sell these. So of course there's Nightshade, Belladonna, Mandrakes, Rapunzel. Yes, we made up some spell components because I want to be creative. We have Rapunzel, we have Cat's Claw, we have Purple Hazel, it's Truffle Fluffle, Newt's Eye, Albatross Moss, and the Devil's Cabbage. Yep. Completely original. Yeah, so we have spell components of that nature. And then, of course, we have berry bushes. We have basic berry bushes, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. And these bushes can also be used as, like, walls, essentially, that'll help obstacles down the line. You'll understand what I mean by then. But you can use these as obstacles as needed, because you can obviously decorate the farm however you want. But there's a reason why you should consider how you're organizing it, etc. down the line. Sinister with a 5. I actually haven't made fan art of some of them, but it seems Soda doesn't like them. I'm sorry. If you're on the Discord, post them in the Discord. I'm sure everyone will love to see it. And then, of course, we have trees. Ignore the machines for now. We have the trees, which we have apple tree, orange tree, a cherry tree. It's great. It's basic trees. Are the plants seasonal? I don't plan on doing seasons in terms of like summer, winter, fall, and spring. I'm doing seasons as in like every month. But is that a weed? I'm calling the police. Writes 420 on the microwave. But um, it's I feel like if I add seasons, it's just gonna complicate things, and I am a single developer, so I can't necessarily think of anything like that right now. You see, there's a black horse and matches cherry tree, huh? I don't get it. But of course, then we also have the machines that you can have your zombies work with. You could have your my god, what is it called? What is it called? It is a some sort of masher. It's some sort of masher where you can make jams and all that stuff. You have your yeah, you have a bunch of machines here. You have like you make cloth, you can do mashing, you can do like siphoning. There's a bunch of really fun machines that you can make. A cauldron for like when you want to make potions, because you can make potions down the line. And then of course wheelbarrows, because obviously you can make wine. Um, but yeah, that is the farm. But the churner, thank you. But eventually we have to seriously think about defense because adventurers are going to come and defeat the zombies that they clearly see on the farm. And they're going to try and figure out why all of this is happening, and they want like a big bounty for us all to try and get it ahead of time. And so they'll be coming from the bottom here and coming up towards your farm. Now, mind you, you're still in hiding. You cannot fight them. You cannot let yourself be known. This is purely for your zombies to figure out. So you can place your zombies anywhere. They will take care of your fields. They'll probably take care of a good 8x8 or like a 16x16 square. Like not probably like a 4x4 or an 8x8 square around them. Um, but you have to organize where they're going to be able to work, and you have to organize where you're going to place traps, such as like cow traps, like man-eating dirt, a bunch of like dark magic trees, etc., etc. You have to be able to maneuver where you want everything to go to stave off these adventurers and Fletcher's Zombies After Story JD Sim Edition. La Mao. So will the farm work like Stardew Valley farming or like a click and drag sort of thing? I still have yet to figure that out. That's one thing I'm gonna have to discuss with you all down the line. How we're gonna make that happen. But essentially, you have all of this space to not only farm, but to defend your area. Because if the adventurers reach your house and have defeated all of your zombies and they find out who you are, there is no stopping them from getting the Holy Order involved. Because like every adventure, they have the means to escape. So, many dirt, also known as quicksand. But yeah, so your goal is to make sure the adventurers do not get to your house and they do not wreck your shit, because the adventurers will absolutely wreck your shit. Can we cast spells to help the farm, like rain? I'm still trying to determine that. Again, I'm looking for simplicity. I'm only one person. I'm looking for simplicity. I can't be adding a million things down the line. If it becomes easier and possible to do, yes. If not, I'm going to hold it off and make it as simple as possible until I have the means to do so without delaying the game's development. Are the villagers able to visit your farm? Yeah, they'll be able to visit 100%. You can't go inside because I'm not building the inside of this house. That's not happening. But they straight up can visit and just look around and then leave. That's why DayZ is there's no rush. Fair, but it also depends on the success of the game. Now, of course, there's one other location that you can go to, which is the hamlet. This is the small little hamlet in the forest, backed up against the side of a mountain where the Mothman lives, obviously. And so you can see where everyone lives, and of course, there's our little lich right here just bouncing around. Like, where can we go from here? Obviously, like you'll be able to zoom in and be able to go as needed. But as you can see, everyone's house is accounted for. At least I believe so. We have the witch and the shapeshifter living together because they are both business savvy, 100%. We have the clock-in house, which is a basic log cabin. We have the vampire and armor living together because the vampire is a noble and the armor is able to kind of like rely on them. We have the haunted family establishment. We have the demon's forge, which you can go and do forge stuff, and it's really great. We have the flame moth house, which is like a little cocoon sort of scenario, a stone cocoon scenario where the moth lives safely away from the flame elemental, but they live in the same house. We have the mayor's house, because obviously the mayor needs to have the biggest house, and he like built it there over time, and it's great. We have the Goliath farmstead, which is like a little open barn area with all of the animals that you could purchase there. And then you have the Nyakin house, which is a gigantic tree house. Yep, we have a cat tree for the cat family because I'm so original. I am 100% original. So yeah. Oh my god. So Brian's playing Killer 7, and he's at the point where it's like he's about to fight a certain character, Curtis. He's about to fight Curtis, and every time he gets to this point of the game, he puts on a blindfold, and he tests himself to see if he can play against Curtis, and so it's great. Wait, that's clever though. The cats can't get down from trees. These ones can because they have the limbs to be able to do so. Old employee home skill issue. Put your own hands. What? Don't put your hands in the microwave. I mean, yeah, don't put a hamster in the microwave. And so yeah, or Mama Nya can get that letter to her back. She'll be. But yeah, so here's the hamlet. These are the two locations. We have the farm, which is going to be just this big screen. Then you have the hamlet, which is just a big screen. You cannot go into any of the buildings. I'm going to repeat that one more time. You cannot go into any of the buildings. Why? It's too difficult for me to do that. And that means there's more assets that I have to do. Because like I have to think of all these assets, and then I have to think of all these assets. And as a singular person with a very limited budget, that's what we're going to do. We're sleeping outside. You can click on the door and the screen will go to black like you assumed you walked into the house. But you're not going to see the inside of the house. That's not happening. Unless I get a fuck ton of money to be able to do so. So I'm being realistic here. I can't go inside the buildings. Girl, watch me go inside. I'm deceased. Oh my god. My god. But there we go. That is currently where we stand with Home on the Strange. We have our character roster here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27 full characters that will have personalities, that will absolutely have baselines in the story. And bro, you could have counted by hell. No, I want to be difficult. Shut up. I want to be difficult. And so we have that roster in there. Each of them will have their own developed backstories, their own developed personalities. But then, of course, down the line, we will have zombies and like golems, mummies, hellhounds, things that will be able to work in your fields and fight back against adventurers who come in. So obviously, there will be like basic ass, faceless adventurers that come in and try and wreck your shit. There will be zombies that you can summon to work on your farm and then wreck adventure shit. Yes, you can have a hellhound. Yes, you can pet the hellhound. I've already publicly agreed to petting the hellhound. So, regardless of how difficult it is, once we get the hellhound, you can pet the hellhound. But mind you, the hellhound can die if you don't pay attention to how you defend your farm. So please, protect the puppy, because the puppy will want to protect you. So, there. So yeah, we will have a randomizer generator of zombies, which will basically be, we'll have like a base look of the zombie, and then we'll have like different hairstyles, different clothes styles, different weapons on top of that. Will basically be pasted on top of them. That's how essentially how it's going to work. And the adventurers will be the same thing. We'll have baseline adventurer bases along with side armor and helmets and weapons and shit. So that way it's like there's randomization involved. So it's not just the same adventurers attacking every single fucking time. The mummies, the golems, the hellhounds will probably have one generic look amongst all of them, but the zombies, I want to try and customize like randomness with them, because it's not just one zombie, it's a bunch of zombies that you've always had on hand who've always served you. Like the big joke that we have is that mom and dad are worried that you have zombies working for you like slaves, and they're like, well, I don't know, do the zombies actually care about, like, do the zombies actually, like, is it okay to enslave zombies to do this shit? And the zombies themselves literally said, we like doing this over protecting a castle. We will take farming over protecting a castle. And so, yeah. We have all of that. Can we breed the hellhounds to get more hellhounds? No, but you can summon more hellhounds from hell. Or from the weave, at least. So yeah, you can summon more hellhounds as needed. I'm very curious of the day that someone's like, I'm just gonna make my entire roster full of hellhounds. Fuck the farming aspect. Fuck the other zombies. We just literally the entire farm is just a pen for hellhounds. Obviously, we can't find the order, but there will be scenes to tease your siblings before you murder the corrupt. Yeah, you'll be able to know your siblings, and players will be able to understand why they're the big bad of this scenario. Will you be able to buy the hellhounds of the demon? I don't know. I have to figure that out. What's the release date and when would this game be mobile? Probably not mobile because I feel like it'd be too big for a mobile game. I might try, but I don't know. I could try. But I am literally a stupid person that doesn't know much programming, so forgive. But I know at least it'll be for PC, Mac, and Linux. If at least I'm gonna try PC, Mac, and Linux. We're gonna try and use the Godot engine. Because Godot seems to be the easiest to work with in terms of something like this. I couldn't put the hell out of it. How do you call me out that hellhounds? Can we have a farm full of hellhounds? I just said if that's your prerogative, be my guest. You're not gonna have a lot of progress. Is there only hellhounds, or can we get black cats and stuff too? Right now only hellhounds. I only have a small list. It's like wraiths, mummies, zombies, flesh golems, hellhounds. It's a small ass list for right now. Because I'm one person with a limited budget. Down the line, I want to open up a Patreon, most likely for it, so that way people can know like the progress and all that stuff, and I'll be updating alongside my streams. My streams will still be public. I'm not ever going to privatize these streams to a limited base. I want to be transparent in what is going on with the production of this game. And so the Patreon will absolutely be more like being able to pay for the art, or being able to pay for assistance in like the programming, getting some advice, getting some voice acting in, etc. The music, because I do want to hire Brian, or at least someone, if Brian's not available, at least someone to be able to do music for it. And I want to be able to pay them properly. So, because obviously, the only one who's volunteering technically to make this game is me. I'm not making any money off of this stuff. Where I make my money is writing for other people. I write ASMR scripts. I write for Project Melody. I write a bunch of stuff. I write for other people. That's how I get my money. This game, it's purely what I do on the side that doesn't make money. All the money that I would make for this game is going straight to other people to hire for either artwork, to hire for programming assistance, for music, etc., etc. I thought the challenge was making the game yourself. The challenge is to start the development myself, but if I can get help, I would like some help. I'm not saying like I would hire a programmer or all that stuff, but I would be like, hey, could you look at this and like determine if this is the best way to do it? Or like I would hire someone for their time, being like, hey, can you teach me how to do a thing so that way I can do it myself? Things like that nature. I want to develop this game by myself, but I do want to pay people to help, because like this art style, this art is not the official art. There's no way in hell I'm letting this be the official art of the game. Fuck no. Because my art, while people have said it's good, it's rudimentary and it's very basic at best. This is not something you would see in a video game. This is sketch work, this is design work, and I don't have the time to really sit there and do all the details that artists go to school for or train themselves to do. Because artists, they dedicate their life to making sure they know aesthetically pleasing art styles that would bring in an audience, or that would show what is needing to be shown art-wise. And plus, I can't draw like trees and shit worth shit. I can't draw buildings worth shit. Like, take a look. Like, this is sketch work. This is sketch work. Can we have nostalgia mode for your art? If we get enough money, fuck it. If we get enough money, fuck it. It gives to be placeholder art sprites. Yes, 100%. I'm going to be making placeholder sprites and portraits and all of that stuff to plug into the game when I program it, because I can't wait for an artist to do it if I can't pay them and have the money to pay them. So I will be making placeholder shit, to program in. And when I do hire an artist, I'll be like, this is what I have and this is what I've programmed in. If you could literally just put your shit on top of my shit, I could plug it in stupid easy. Or if they give you something else and they give me a bunch of other ideas, I could easily work with programming to make sure it goes in and adds in and all that stuff. But yeah. So, but and then like there's music that I have to consider, sound effects that I have to consider, making sure that the system works, etc., etc. I'm going in with no knowledge of any programming other than visual novel programming. I know how to make a visual novel. I know Python. I know how to work in RenPy to make visual novels. I don't know how to work in Godot, and I don't know how to work with a game that's not a visual novel. So, will I be doing? I will be doing all of the programming. I just want help. I'm not going to be asking for someone to do the coding for me. I want to do it my damn self because that's part of me getting better as a game developer and coming back as a game developer. I will learn. It'll be hard. I will cry. I will scream and beat my head against my keyboard, but I will learn. But I will be able to say I did this myself. I did this just like I did Seduce. That's why I did programming for Seduce Me by myself. Why I did the programming for a lot of my games by myself. I want to be able to say I did this myself. I don't necessarily know when I'm gonna make a Patreon for this. Simply because I want to be at a confident enough stage to be like, yeah, we are at the point where I could hire artists or hire musicians or hire for sound effects or hire for assistants. I'm not comfortable yet at that stage to be able to say, yeah, let's get Patreon going. So right now everything is full on me to figure the fuck out. If I can figure this out, great. But also we need to understand that I also have to do some writing because in order for us to have a game with major character dialogue, I need to write the dialogue. I have to write the dialogue for like the player to the mom and dad, the dialogue that the siblings have with you or with each other, like all of the romance options, all of the quest lines, all that stuff, making all sure everything's already written out. So that is fully on me, and that I can happily fucking do. And I will probably be doing a lot of it on stream with you guys. I'll probably be doing a lot of it on stream so that way you guys can see my process of like how I make scripts, not only just for my purposes but also for voice actors. Because I've run with the same system for like 10 plus years and it's always worked out in my favor. So that way actors know context as well as their own lines separated from each other's, and it's great. It's fucking beautiful. All right. Woo! Are there any short questions that I can answer real quickly about this? Also, I'm just hey. Oh, cool. I gotta answer a couple of emails. Great. But anyways, are there any short questions that I can answer before we head out for the day? And I just realized I've never been playing music this entire fucking time. Fucking hell. It's alright. It's fine. It is what it is. I took this seriously. Can you repeat it? I wasn't listening. La Mal, the stream will go up. Watch the stream. Demon Artie, can you take the armor? Demon Artie, listen. I'll make a deal with you. I already made a deal that if this game becomes popular enough, I'll make the romance armor. I'll make the armor romanceable. I'll make a deal with you. I'll make a deal. If you consider, hold on, what? I know. Hold on. What deal? The deal is, if you continue to pump designs for me, then I will immediately add armor to the romance. I will make it 6. If you give me some more ideas for designs for these other characters, I will make the armor a romance blob. That's one specific deal for you. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and also Demon, watch the Ghost or Toast video. You're in it. But yeah, so if you give me more design ideas that with all of this stuff, I'll make the armor a romanceable character. Not even fucking. So you guys, you get the romance armor. You get the armor of romance in 2 ways. One of 2 ways. You either get it if this game is popular enough to where I can get everything done in a reasonable amount of time by having the financial support to hire on artists and all of that stuff properly, or we get more fan art and we get more designs for these characters, more that I can work with, because I know I can approach artists with this. I can be like, hey, artists, this is what I kind of have in mind. You can also do whatever you want. What do you think? And we can work with that. Or I can give a plethora of designs and be like, this is what the community has also come up with. What are we thinking for these characters? And if you guys are involved, then that would make the game much better. That would make the game much better. So that way, not only does it feel like I made the game, but it feels like you guys were able to be part of making the game by having your opinions about the designs come into play with these characters. I mean, I love these characters to death, but if I missed a detail that you think would be really cool for, like, the vampire being able to have an umbrella or like some sort of parasol, or like the mole man having a specific tool, or like a different outfit for these characters straight up, then that makes the game much better. If I could listen to you guys and not just be like, well, this is what I want, blah, blah, blah. This is what I want to design the characters, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. Does that make sense? So if we get more designs and stuff that I can present artists with, and that we can work together to make either a conglomeration, come to an understanding of what we would like for the characters, that would make our lives a lot better, and you guys could feel like you were part of all of this. So yeah. How would you react if you met a forged tall person? I don't know. That'd be very strange. Anyways, I gotta get going because I literally have work that I gotta get to. I'm pushing already. So again, if you have more curiosities about the game, please check out the website, !HOTS in chat. That's the command for the website. The next stream will probably, not gonna lie, we'll probably be looking at writing. I feel like writing is the next priority for me, because programming is a little scary right now. And before I program, I want to be able to have assets ready to program in. So that's going to be a thing later down the line. So writing, however, I can do with you all, and we can discuss like the romance routes, the NPC missions, the siblings and their past, etc., etc. We can talk about all of that, and I can show you my process of making scripts and making the story, in essence. All right, Twitch people, where am I sending you? Where am I going to send the Twitch people? I'm going to send the Twitch people somewhere. I don't know where I'm going to send the Twitch people. Let's send you to Vixen. Don't know what Vixen's doing, but I'm going to send you to Vixen anyway. How about I do it anyway? So let's send you all to Vixen. But anyways, I'm gonna get going. You all have been so wonderful. Thank you so much for allowing me to have a short game dev stream with you all. I'm really excited to move forward with this. Next week we'll be doing some writing. We'll be getting more done on that. But yeah, so anyways, thank you all for coming. Have wonderful sweet dreams, and I will see you all next time. Love you all. Bye!